37 Planned Parenthood affiliates filed for a combined $80 million in loans from the Paycheck Protection Program during the coronavirus. They did actually receive the money. Now the government says they want the money back. This was all originally reported by Tucker Carlson. The Small Business Administration is saying that they never should have received any money or applied for it because organizations with over 500 employees don't qualify because they're not small businesses. Planned Parenthood has thousands of employees. They're very far from this is a $1 billion organization with thousands of employees. Doesn't qualify as a small business. And Planned Parenthood would have known this, of course. They knew what the rules were. I knew what the rules were just from following the news. So this would seem to be a deliberate attempt to scam the system, which is no surprise coming from Planned Parenthood. And this is what I was trying to say about the McCorvey thing. You have to understand that abortion activists, people in the abortion industry, are extraordinarily dishonest all of the time. You cannot trust a word they say about anything. They just lie all the time. And anyone with any experience dealing with these people knows this. And here they are trying to scam the system during a pandemic to bilk millions of dollars out of the government that should have gone to small businesses. They already get $500 million a year from the government. Man, that's not enough. They need another 80 million. Number two, this seems like pretty big news. NASA scientists may have discovered evidence of a parallel universe where time runs backwards. Kind of feels now like we're living in that parallel universe. Maybe the two have merged or something. The Daily Wire reports scientists at the National Aeronautics Space Administration have conducted a series of cosmic ray detection experiments which have found particles that could be from outside the universe. So quoting now the Daily Star, NASA's Antarctic Impulsive Transient Antenna uses a giant balloon to haul delicate electronic antennas high into the cold, dry air above Antarctica, where there is little or no radio noise to distort the findings. There is a constant wind of high-energy particles coming from outer space, some of which are millions of times more powerful than anything we generate ourselves. Low-energy particles, neutrinos, can pass completely through the Earth, barely interacting with the substance of our planet at all. But higher-energy particles are stopped by the reassuringly solid matter of Earth. That means that high-energy particles can only be detected coming down from outer space. To detect a heavier particle, a tau neutrino coming up out of the Earth would imply that these particles are actually traveling backwards in time, and that is exactly what the ANITA scientists have said. The findings suggest evidence of a parallel universe. Okay, does that make sense? It does to me. I mean, I understood everything I just read there. Okay. Basically, to recap, the high energy thingies are doing something. Okay. And there's this big balloon that, is involved. And anyway, then we discovered a parallel universe. So that's just breaking it down in layman's terms. Pretty big news. Number three, and Michigan's Governor Karen, also known as Gretchen Whitmer, is in talks to be Joe Biden's vice president, apparently. She revealed that on the Today Show, and talking about it publicly was, of course, her way of angling for the role. Now, this is really something else. Whitmer is quite possibly the most hated woman in America right now. I can't think of who would beat her for that trophy. I mean, maybe Nancy Pelosi, I don't know. But I think no, right now it's Whitmer. So Biden is considering bringing on board his ticket a woman who is so despised that there have been protests against her in her home state like every day for 2 months. Brilliant. So it's either her or Stacey Abrams. Stacey Abrams, a woman with no political talent, no achievements of any kind. So that's what we've narrowed it down to. Those two. If I were a woman, which I could be, you never know, I would feel pretty insulted right now that Biden has committed himself to picking a woman, which is already stupid and patronizing enough, and then these are the two that he's narrowing it down to. You really couldn't. I mean, you literally couldn't pick worse candidates than these two. Number four, but I think it's a great idea. Let me just say, I hope that Biden picks Gretchen Whitmer. Number four, and an update on this important story. As we covered yesterday, Nancy Pelosi said that Trump is morbidly obese. We talked about that yesterday. Well, Trump responded, as we knew he would, by saying that Pelosi has mental problems. And now Pelosi has come back and said that Trump is too sensitive. And I can't even keep talking about this. Good Lord. We are governed by sixth graders. This is what political disputes have come down to. You're fat. Noah, you're crazy. Stop being sensitive. I'm telling mommy. You know, it can be interesting to go back and read, for example, the Lincoln-Douglas debates in 1958 or whenever that was, or read about, just read in general about the disputes between politicians 100 years ago, 150 years ago. And you see that there was, often very intense disputes and exchanges. Obviously, I mean, we fought a war over some of those disputes, and 600,000 people died. So this whole idea that politics are more partisan, more divided, more hostile now than they've ever been, that of course is crazy. This is child's play in more ways than one compared to what it's been in the past. But when you read some of this stuff, there was an eloquence and an intelligence and a depth there, even in dispute, where now it's gone to you're fat, no, you're crazy. Okay, number 5, a Kentucky convenience store landed itself in hot water when a sign posted on the window went viral. The sign says, here's what the sign says, or said rather, because it's been taken down. No face masks allowed in the store. Lower your mask or go somewhere else. Stop listening to Bashir. He's a dumbass. Bashir is the governor. Now, I love that sign personally. And, because I'm a sixth grader too. So now someone posted this to Facebook explicitly to shame the business for putting this sign up. And eventually the business owner relented somewhat and said that, okay, he's not going to turn you away if you have a mask, but you don't have to wear one. And this goes back to what I've been saying about the mask issue, which is I think it should be totally up to the business. Their property, their rules. That's my take on it. If this business owner doesn't want face masks, that should be his right. Don't like it, go somewhere else, like the sign says. He should have as much a right to require that you not wear face masks as any other business should have to require that you do wear face masks. And the thing is, it's not like there isn't a very logical reason to ban face masks. Just, if you want to, go to Google and Google surgical mask and theft, or surgical mask and robbery. And you'll see tons of recent examples of people who have taken advantage of the face mask policies to rob stores or shoplift or steal. And of course that's going to happen. I think about this every time I go into a store now, and everybody is in a disguise. Okay, you've got everybody in the store is in a disguise. This has to be hell on earth for loss prevention departments. How are they supposed to, what are they supposed to do? How are they supposed to stop people from stealing? Yeah, I mean, we have, it's as if we have turned off all the security cameras in every store in America. That's the effect, because everybody's in masks. And there's also no uniformity to the masks. So I've seen people walking in with motorcycle helmets on, or, we've all seen this. A lot of people just with bandanas around their face, literally like stagecoach robbers. They're walking in the stores. And those bandanas, by the way, you've got a bandana tied around your face and it's like hanging down like this, right? Like the classic bank robber or stagecoach robber. That's a very good way to disguise your identity. But what the hell is that gonna do to stop a virus from getting in? I mean, you've got all this area right down here. I mean, the thing is just hanging down. Airflow is not restricted at all. So I don't know how that's supposed to stop you from getting the virus or from transmitting it. It doesn't seem like that's going to have any effect whatsoever. But again, it is a good disguise. And so this is what stores are dealing with. And that's why companies should be allowed to make their own decisions. About there are a lot of risks that have to be balanced. There's the risk of the coronavirus, yeah, but then there's also the risk of having a bunch of people in disguises in your store able to steal, on a whim. Thank you for tuning into the Daily Wire, one of the fastest growing conservative media outlets in the entire country. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and a subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any of our content.